I gotta make sure they get the fit, you heard? Gotta make sure they get the vintage M. Smith, you heard? Gotta make sure they get the Roly-Oly, you heard? And I don't even care about this. This is just for the appreciation. Gotta make sure they get the forces, you heard? I don't care about that neither. That's just for the Zaka Zaka, you heard? Anyway, rich again, rich again, rich again. Where should I start? I guess I need to start with the city that molds my heart. Rich again is about discovering who you really are, discovering your power again, discovering your inner riches, which is the knowledge of self, right? The whole book and the purpose of me even writing it was because I felt like a lot of the spiritual books, they were a little boring and they weren't written for our culture. They were written in riddles, and them shit's just boring, man. Nobody want to read them. I read them because I was always seeking deeper information, but I was like, man, how do I teach this to somebody? Because they don't want to hear this shit. This shit is boring. The pages is long. We gotta figure a better way how to do this. So what I did is said, you know what? I can sit here, I can complain, or I can do something about it. You just walk past my shit, bro. I could do something about it. So I said, let me do something about it because all this information I have inside, I feel like people could really, 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 really like use it for sure, for sure. So yeah, man, I wrote a book called Rich Again. It's based on a lot of my music adventures and music experiences in life coming up from Brownsville in New York and how I made it through certain situations that were very challenging, but it was God testing me and seeing was I ready for the next level, for the next step. Um, if you don't know, my music level or my music journey started at Roc-A-Fella Records, and it grew to where I'm at now, and still growing. I'm a business opener, business owner, founder and CEO of Disruptive Label. Um, Amazing company, by the way, still growing, and we like to say that we're still looking for new talent. So if you got talent, holla at us. You heard? But yeah, man. Long story short, I'm gonna be sharing more and more and more of the journey. I definitely overthought. Like, where should I start at? How should I start rich again? How should I start sharing the journey? Man, Rob, they just want it. They want to know what happened. They want to know how you even get into music and what that was. And for me to even start that part real quick, because there's gonna be multiple parts. I got into music because I always had a love for it, right? I didn't really have it in my house. I didn't have it playing anywhere. But my friends rap, a lot of people in my neighborhood rap, and I wanted to be like the rappers, right? Because all you had was the rappers or the basketball players. So I was like, I'm gonna do both. I was nice at basketball, give you buckets and one stop it. You heard? But I was also good at understanding music. I didn't know how to rap, so I used to go hang around my homeboys, Alex and them, who knew how to rap. They knew how to rap better than me, so I was just chilling around them, and I started catching a rap bug. I started falling in love with music, Tupac, Snoop Dogg, Fabulous, Jay-Z, Nas, Biggie. And from there, I was like, man, I really like this music thing. And, I went to college to give it a shot. But, as I was in college, I started realizing my first year, I was like, man, I really want to do music. Like, I want to take this serious. I don't really like the school thing. This ain't for me. I'm a hustler and I'm creative. I need to be somewhere else because this school thing actually feels like it's ripping away my talent, my personality, is making me a worker bee. And that's not who I am at core at all. So, I went fast forward the story and rent, dropped out of school. I went all over. I went back to New York because I was in Houston. I was all over the place trying to find an internship in a record label. Couldn't find one, so I said, "Man, what's the next best place that people get in the music business?" And I saw some interview with a music exec, and he was like, "Man, I got on from an internship, and this is 2000, 2001. I'm like, what's an internship? I don't even know what that is. Anyway, I called a bunch of studios because I figured, if I can't get in a label, let me get somewhere where they make the music at. And it was a studio called like 100+ studios. After looking in the yellow pages, and finally two called me back. Out of two, one hired me. And from there, I got tested on it the first day. The first day I got there, it was a rainstorm. I had to go home, change my clothes, came back in studio, soak, all type of shit for reasons that the regular person would quit. But I had a vision that I was going to be working at Roc-A-Fella, right? Like I was always watching this documentary called Backstage every time I would cut class, and I knew I was going to work at Roc-A-Fella. And my first day at the studio was so hard, and I should have quit, like a regular person would have quit. But being that I didn't quit, I sat down, and the next thing you know, I find out Roc-A-Fella and Dame Dash is in the same studio. And at that moment, I knew I was going to be in the music business because, again, that day was hell. Like me going to the studio my first day, the owner told me to go home and change my clothes. He told me I look like a hoodlum. And then I come back, I get off the train, it's pouring rain, I gotta walk 8 blocks. I walk 8 blocks to the studio, my clothes are soaked, shoes, hat, everything. I walk in the studio like face down, everything, and I sit on the couch, just clothes is wet up, and still didn't quit. And right when I said I ain't quitting, then the elevator door go ding, and then it's Dame Dash. So I knew I was gonna work at Roc-A-Fella. I knew I was gonna be in the music business. I knew I was gonna be successful in the music business, and I knew it was gonna be a journey for somebody like me, because I'm honest and I ain't no fuck boy. I don't do none of the bullshit. So it's cool. Even when you see me talking to y'all, I ain't talking to y'all like I'm big, bad, bold, and made it and all that. I'm good, but I'm becoming greater and greater and greater. And I'm glad I took my time to do it this way, the God way, the right way, the way that felt right to me at least. So yeah, I'm gonna be sharing the Rich Again journey with y'all. I'm gonna start by reading the book and just start explaining it to y'all and just talk to y'all more and just have fun with this, man. So I love y'all. You heard? Check out the fit again. You know what I mean? You in my city. You in my city. I'm a city. You heard? I love y'all. Rich Again. Get the book. It's on Amazon. I love y'all.